Good morning, everyone. Hello. I'm a little bit early and I've left my hot chocolate over here. Hang on. This is better. It's currently 21 degrees in here and raining outside. Oh, and I've just had an email to say that I've gone live, so that's good. How is everyone? Let's see. Oh God, gosh, Kia's Sewing Closet. Hello from Detroit. Hello. Did I get that name even a little bit right? I've got such poofy hair today as well. Just double check that I have, yeah, I've plugged this in. Yeah, I'm a little bit early, but I came down, I put the sewing table away. I have got all the bits and pieces out I need for making up this PDF. We all know how I feel about, well, actually I haven't done a PDF like this in a long time, so maybe we don't know how I feel about PDFs. Morning from Catherine, ironing my recently acquired and washed fabric. Nice. Sakayas says you did fine, close enough. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Leslie says good morning. Oh, good morning. So we've got the Charm Patterns Lady Dandy to work on. So let's give that a go, because I've got to stick it all together myself, which I'm not looking forward to. Never mind. Right. So I tried to be clever, and she does give you the pages that you need for the pattern of your size, because there's multiple sizes. So I'm going to cut off the right and the bottom, and we'll just see how that goes. Jessica says, hello from New Zealand. I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to make my princess coat out of. A little overwhelmed. Yes, it is an awesome pattern and there are so many options. I really like my brush cotton twill one. I think that one's worked out really nicely, and also my wool one that I did. I like how that's turned out as well. So there are so many options though. Caroline says net printer is back. Had an email a couple of days ago. Yes, I saw it too. I'm very pleased. But I decided to print this PDF out because it's a waistcoat pattern, so it's small, and as I say, she's listed the sizes specifically so that you don't have to print out all 74 pages or 72 pages. I think I've got about 30 here, maybe, probably less actually. And I also really ought to be getting on with getting this done. So I didn't want to wait to have stuff back from net printers. I've got a few dresses I am going to send off though, like the Lana dress. I'm definitely going to send that one off to be printed because I really don't want to do this for that many pages. And they very kindly sent me the updated version of the night and day dress because I bought the paper pattern and they've updated it. So they've sent me the PDF of the updated pattern. Does anybody know what the difference is? Because I really don't want to have that thing printed because I bought the paper pattern because I like the packaging, but also that thing's huge and it's going to be like 5 or 6 at least pages to get it printed, which is expensive when you add it all up. And as I've already got the paper pattern, like if we know what the difference is, then maybe I will just print out the bodice. Maybe the bodice is the bit that's different. I'm not sure. Catherine says, I used the fold line to print a pattern. They were cool about only printing the size range that I asked for. That's good. Yeah, I bought a top that I really like from Itch to Stitch, and she does it in cup sizes. And it did have, she'd made the sample up in Savannah, which might have influenced my purchasing of that pattern. But I do really like the top as well. I'm not that much of a ridiculous person. I mean, we all know I'm a ridiculous person, but not that much. And I can't work out how to separate the sizes, so I can just print off the one that I need and send that off to the printers. Am I being dim? I mean, I am, but yeah. Just Julie Elizabeth says, good morning from Virginia, 6:30 a.m. here and already hot outside. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, we've got rain. We have rain. It has been a very wet July, which has been very sad. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Charlotte, hello, says, hello, just discovered your channel this week and I'm attempting to make a dress from a pattern for the first time. Oh, cool. Welcome and good luck. Which pattern are you choosing? Catherine says, this is my last Sunday morning off before back to choir next Sunday with full-on music for the Edinburgh Festival. Oh, cool. Very cool. Now, I probably could be doing more than one page at a time when I'm trimming off this excess pattern. And I know there's other ways of doing this where I don't have to trim off the excess. I've tried those. I don't like them. Oh, that's got red lines through it. That's exciting. But I just know my luck at the moment will be that I'll trim like 4 pages, have them perfectly lined up and mess it up. I was finishing my white dress yesterday so that it's ready for sewing on all the motifs. So I've put the press stud at the waist and I think I've sorted out the hem at the bottom. She says, and it still looks a bit squiffy. But I was ironing it, and then the iron decided that that was the perfect moment to just spray out loads of brown gook. So I've now got brown gook on my white dress. I think that dress is cursed, and I am annoyed with it. I wore it for the 5 essentials pattern video that I did. And as always, I listed in the description everything that I was wearing in that video. So the 7974, I even put the fabric because the fabric is still available, which is unusual. And I got a comment from someone saying, I love your top. You said it's this pattern, but it's not. What is it? It's like, it is this pattern. It's the 7974. Like, I've changed the sleeves on it. There's a video coming for that soon. But it is that pattern, I promise. It's like, why would I lie about that? I mean, maybe they thought I'd like just been lazy and like not updated a previous description or something, but it was just one of those ones where it was like, no, that is the right pattern. Promise. Oh, yeah. Catherine says this. Oh, I've read that one. Vox is here. Hello, peeps. Hello. Natalie says, hello from a chilly morning here in Toronto and I've run out of coffee. Oh, no. Natalie, your comment on yesterday's video was so funny because yesterday's video, was a slightly different skirt tutorial for me, because before I've done the sewing showing of it, the sewing start to finish, and they've been 40-minute long videos. And I got so many comments from people just going, oh, this could have been a 10-minute video. We don't need to see you sewing straight lines. So I tried something a bit different with this one. And I filmed the whole drafting process in pencil because I'm an idiot. And it looked fine on my screen. So I uploaded it and said to my friends, would you just have a look at this and see if this is all right? Because I was really nervous about that video for some reason, because it was so different from my usual ones. And they were like, yeah, it's fine, but I can't see anything. So, oh God. So I came down yesterday morning, refilmed the drafting bit in pen instead, which was good because I'd made a couple of errors that I had to put annotations on. So I corrected those in the second filming of it, put it up. And Natalie was just like, could it not just be a two-piece pattern? Like there's the one cut on the fold and then the other one just cut out 14 times. And it's just like, mind blown. I was like, oh yeah, it totally could have been. Like my original pattern pieces, none of them are the same size because I wasn't too uniform about making sure that the pattern pieces were equally divided. And I have no idea why I didn't think of that. So yeah, and then Nimue said the same thing, and I was just like, that hadn't even occurred to me. Literally hadn't even occurred to me. I was just like, oh. So I was really embarrassed. I like immediately wanted to take the video down. It was just like, oh God. So yeah, that did make me giggle because it was just like all that work. And you're totally right, Natalie. It could have just been a two-piece pattern. Never mind. That way works for me. That's how this is a very good insight into how my brain works and how my thinking process goes and how I like to have things done so that I don't fluff up. But yeah, that did make me giggle. Dashna says, hi all, hello. Vox says, I found out that Simplicity is having a pattern sale and now they have the PDF patterns and I'm a PDF girl. I'm looking at the 7974. Love it. Oh my God, the sizing on that is completely bonkers. And also I've raised up the front by 3 inches on the final 4 that I've just made. And it now comes to here because before it came down to here, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, as you guys know, I prefer balconette bras over plunge. So I actually ended up donating the first 2 that I made because I did not like how low cut they were. But I highly recommend the pattern because it is a beautiful dress and it is one of my favorite dresses. But oh my goodness, the sizing on that thing is yeah, strange. Catherine says, tutorial thought, how to start from a basic sleeve block and design flutter sleeves, tulip sleeves, puff sleeves, turn short into long bishop sleeves, etc. Yeah, that's, I mean, I'm for the 7974 video, I am going to show you how I made the tie sleeve that comes with the pattern into this flutter sleeve. I haven't drafted my sleeve block yet because I'm still not happy with my sloper. I think the armhole is all wrong. We know I had like really super strange shoulders because I'd mismeasured this bit, so the whole thing was kind of off. I was going to redraft my block because I'd lost a bunch of weight, but I've put a bunch of weight back on. That's the trouble with having a boyfriend. You go out and eat out a lot more, and also he introduces you to things like crispy M&Ms, which is evil. So my sugar intake has gone massively up and I have put back on 8 pounds, which I'm really annoyed about. But never mind. So the block will fit me quite well at the moment, which is good. And it means that I'm probably going to try my Star Trek dress again because I was putting that off because I was having to redraft the block and then I thought I'm going to have to redraft the pattern. But I think I can tweak the pattern that I did my original one in. And I've bought Ponte to make it in rather than cotton sateen. So I'm hoping that I'll like that one better. But yeah, sorry, Catherine. So the tutorials, there's already people out there that do that much better than I ever could. And ever, you know, like one of the things I try and do when I'm like the double circle skirt, I tried not to look up anybody else's tutorial and how they did it, and I try to reason it out from like, this is how my brain works and this is how I would go from start to finish. So that's why kind of when Natalie, I can see she says it's funny because I assumed that I just didn't understand properly. No, you hit the nail on the head. It was just, it hadn't even occurred to me to do it like that. And it's like, yeah, you're right. If you evenly split up your half circle or your quarter circle, you can totally just make 2 pattern pieces and label them. I mean, to be fair, even if the other 3 pattern pieces are identical, you don't even need to label them, just sew them together. It's just in my head, that was how it went along. So I love the idea of doing the sleeve thing, but there's already, I mean, Bianca, for example, she's already done a bunch of tutorials on how to do different sleeves and stuff like that. So I think maybe so I've been having a massive crisis of confidence since I lost my sojo as well. Definitely huge imposter syndrome has struck, and I've just been really second guessing everything that I've been doing, because it's just like, who the hell do I think I am? There are so many people out here who are much better at what they're doing, and I appreciate that it's not so much about me giving you the best tutorial, it's me giving you how my brain works, and this is how I work this thing out as tutorials. I think that's why I've not put a sew along out for so long, is because I've just psyched myself out of being confident enough to be like, I've got something to add here. So yeah, I think I'm trying to, so from drafting from scratch, drafting from scratch, I don't think is going to be a route that I go down. I'm gonna do it, but I won't be like, this is how you do it. It will be like, this is the result that I got from my block. You should totally make one of these for yourself because it's awesome. Or I did not enjoy this process. Let me have back my beloved patterns. And I think it's one of those things that maybe my kind of niche is maybe like hacking these patterns into, like, you know, using one pattern so many times in different ways to get different looking things and pieces from that pattern, because I like doing that and I think I'm good at that. But yeah, I got I'm having a very strange year this year. Like, I really did lose my sojo earlier this year, as you guys know, and I really just didn't want to make anything. And now I am going through a kind of like, I don't think I'm good at anything kind of thing. So yeah, maybe my year of projects that scared me was a terrible one. But we'll see. Sorry. So yes, no, I'm not going to be doing kind of like drafting from scratch videos, but I will be doing, look, if you've got this pattern, here's how you alter it to get this look from it kind of thing. I think that's my happy spot, I think. Kumari says, hello, Shan and Peeps, greetings from sunny Switzerland. Hello. Natalie says, it's funny because I assumed that I didn't understand properly. No, it just hadn't occurred to me, Natalie. Like I say, it just had not occurred to me. And it was literally one of those moments where it was like, you totally could do that. Oh my God. And when I was writing comment out, I was like, yeah, you could totally do that. But you need to do this. And then I was like, no, you don't need to do that. So I kept editing the comment because I was just like, as my mind was going through what you were saying, it was just like, oh yeah. So no, I kind of want to take that video down now because I'm just like, somebody else has commented as well that they would have liked to see the cutting out process. I had filmed that. I had hours of footage of that and it was corrupted and I couldn't use it, which was annoying because I talk about it and I had to edit around the talking bit so that it didn't sound like, because I was like, and as you can see here whilst I'm cutting out, and it was just like, no, you can't because it's not there. So yeah, I think maybe that video was cursed. Catherine says, yeah, but we'd want 7 copies of the not on the fold pieces so you don't need to keep putting it on the fabric and taking it off, getting more and more layers. Yeah, so that was why I drafted 5, is because I was willing to take the fabric, the pattern off once, label a piece, and then put it back on to cut another one. But yeah, I mean, it depends which way around you like doing it. Like, I like the pattern that I've come up with. I also like that I have more pattern pieces so that when the fabric's on the table, because I have such a big table, I can lay out and nest them because it was a non-directional fabric. I mean, proof of concept, the skirt worked, and it is now got fully its bias binding on, so it just needs to be hemmed by hand, which I am not looking forward to. Nimoy said Nimoy said there is a formula to work out how big that circle around the bottom is without measuring it. And I'm just like, I don't want to know. If I know how big this thing is before I go in and hand hem it, I probably won't ever do it. It'll just sit there and it's a beautiful dress and it needs to get worn. That was delicious. But yeah, I mean, this is thing Nimoy has as well said, sort of like, she was like, oh, I probably would have only done what Natalie did, draft 2 pattern pieces, because I'm lazy and I want to save paper. So yeah, I think it's one of those things that the minute you said it, it was like, oh my God, they're so obvious, but it hadn't even occurred to me up until that point. So yeah. Jojo says, morning, love to all. Hope you're well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Nimoy's here. Hello, everyone. Just popping in for a bit before lunch. Hope you're all doing well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Carmen is here. Hi, Shannon Peeps. My first live in a long time. Whoop, whoop. How are you doing? Very well, thank you. How are you? Natalie says, I'm cutting some pants on a single layer, and honestly, I could use multiple pattern pieces instead of unpinning and repinning everything. Yeah. Like I say, I also like it for working out if I've got enough space and fabric for the thing that I want to do. Catherine says, but at least the weight change is due to happiness, not misery. Hugs. Yes, I know. And like, it is just literally going back down and eating eating sugar. That's the only thing that's changed. So, because I'm still trying to eat keto. We went to the Hut on Monday, which is an expensive but amazing restaurant. It's where we had our first date on the island, and we've been there 3 times now. And we went for his birthday, first date. It was our second date, but first date on the island, his birthday, and then just this time because we hadn't seen each other for so long. And we had steak, and it comes with chips, but he had chips and I had a green salad. And it was delicious, and it was totally fine, and I did not miss the chip. I think I stole like two of his chips because they were staring at me, and they were the particularly crispy ones. And they were very good. But yeah, it's the sugar. I've got to stop eating the sugar. It's like when we go to the cinema, I cave and get pick and mix. So I need to just go to the supermarket beforehand and get myself some extra sweet strawberries and raspberries, cut them up, and I love those and I enjoy those. And so I need to make that my pick and mix, but it involves some effort and some work before we go. It's not just to just go to the cinema. We have to go to so it's me being lazy. It is me being lazy. So yeah. Sarah says, I'm so tempted to buy some more patterns in the sale, but I'm also being influenced by Bianca to just start drafting all my patterns instead. But patterns are so pretty. I know. Yeah, I like 100% agree with you. And I also think that if you go and have a look at the patterns, because I've not bought new patterns for over a year. The last time I bought patterns was the Black Friday sale, not last year, but the year before. Because there was a video for that. And I do have a list of patterns that I want. And the thing is, if you actually have a look at some of the new releases, and then if you've got a stash like mine, if you go through it, some of them are very small tweaks on things that you've already got that you could do yourself, especially with Bianca's help as well. So you don't necessarily have to draft everything completely from scratch if you don't want to. You can totally if you want to. Like, again, this is the beauty of sewing. You can do whatever you want, however you want. As long as you end up with the result you like, you can do whatever you want. But so one of the things, like I say, that I think I'm enjoying is taking patterns that I already own and tweaking them. And it's minor tweaks, like that flutter sleeve on the 7974 made it unrecognizable to the lady who was like, well, you say you're wearing this dress, but you're clearly not. What are you wearing? It's like, no, it is that dress. I've raised the neckline up, added the flutter sleeves. And I think that's one of the things to have a look at with the new patterns that you like, be like, okay, what is it about this that I like? Look at the line drawings as well. And then have a look at your current stash and just see if there's anything in the current stash that you can tweak slightly to get the pattern that you want. I'm really not doing very well at I'm not even halfway through. I keep getting distracted. Marie says, morning everyone, finally got 5 minutes to join you all. Very nice to see you, Marie. How are you? Oh, I have a new Patreon peep to say hello to. Big Bird has joined. Thank you, Big Bird. And she signed up for a year as well. There's a very small discount if you sign up for a year to get 5% off what it would cost you monthly to listen to me waffle, the behind the scenes waffle. And there is a lot of waffle this week because I hadn't spoken to you guys for so long, so I waffled a lot. I came down yesterday and to do some to finish off the hem of that double circle skirt and to try and fix that white dress, which then ended up with iron gunk all over it, which I'm really annoyed about. And I was going to try and film another sort of waffle and sort of this is what we've been up to and things like that. But I was having one of those days where it was just I can't do anything and everything is going wrong. So maybe I won't pick up the camera because I don't want to be in a mood when I'm trying to film. So yeah. Sarah says, you like making sewing tutorials. Don't stress too much about pushing yourself to make drafting tutorials. Yeah, exactly. And there's other people out there that do it so well. I like I say, I like doing the tweaking and the hacking and the let's make this look like something else kind of ones. Because I do tend to tweak most patterns in some way, shape or form. There's very few that I make. Yeah, there's very few that I make completely as suggested by the pattern. And I definitely do a different sewing method for most of them. But again, that's just personal preference of how I like my garments to look. Andre asked me to do a sew along for the beach pajamas, and I did, and very much enjoyed it and liked how it came out and put it out. And I saw her at one of the shows and she was like, kitten girl. She's like, oh my God. She's like, I really loved your sew along, but you made it so difficult. Why did you French seam everything? And I was just like, I love French seams. I can't help it. She was just like, I really like your tutorial, but wow, you complicated the hell out of it. It was like, no, I just added French seams in because my favorite. So, and again, that's the thing. It's like you can tweak and sew however you want if you get the result that you like. So yeah. Box says, if this helps, I've seen your 7974 tutorials and that gave me the confidence to believe that I will be able to change it if I need and ideas on how to go about it. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I remember filming the sew along for that one, the very first one that I did. I got to the point of sewing up the side seams, everything was in, and I was doing it my way, and I was doing it my way, but with their lining instructions. I got to sewing up the side seams. I was like, I hate this. I absolutely hate how this has turned out. It's nice and it looks perfectly wearable and it's a good dress, but I hate this. So I went back and refilmed it, fully lined the bodice because, again, I find it easier and it's my preference and it gave me a neater, cleaner finish. So yeah, it was just one of those ones where it's like, I filmed the entire, it's like the 9076, which I know I've been promising a sew along for since November. And in fact, probably before, because I did the first one January the year before, didn't I? And there was some stuff that I didn't like, so I changed it. Filmed the entire sew along for that one, and then didn't like how that one came out as well, so I've changed it. And I've now cut everything out, and I've already sewn the skirt up, which is one of the major changes I've made, and I didn't film that process. And so the bodice has been sitting there since November, cut out, and I'm like, it's one of those ones, it's like I don't want to do it because I don't want to do the sew along for it because it's not going to be good. So I've decided I'm just going to make this dress and then do another one because I love the style, although Mum has both of them now because they're too big for me. So that's another thing. I need to tweak this one when I make it so that it fits me better. But the skirt's got loads of gathering in it, so it's just taking inside seams of the bodice, which should be fine. But I'm going to start again because I've just psyched myself out of that one. And I've just got it in my head that it's just not going to come out the way that I want it to. So I just need to take the pressure off of that one, make it up, because I'm testing a theory with a super precious to me fabric, which is so stupid of me. Oh, what do I say? Make a muslin. I've made two wearable muslins which actually, if I could still wear them without them being way too big for me, I do like and would have kept, but they fit mum way better than they fit me now, so I don't want to alter them. So yeah, I'm so glad that you enjoy the 7974 stuff box. That's really cool. Jane says, good morning all from a wet Bristol, sewing up a pair of linen lightweight dungarees today. Nice. Natalie says, oh no, I'm sorry if my comment contributed to your imposter syndrome. Not at all, Natalie, because it was you and Nimue that said it. It's like I told my friends, I was like, oh no, I've had 2 comments pointing out something that's really obvious. And both of them were like, oh no, are people being people? I was like, no, it's Natalie and Nimue. And they were immediately like, oh, well, at least I'll have said it to you in a constructive and nice way. And it's like, yeah, exactly. It's not some random stranger that I don't recognize being mean for the sake of being mean. It was constructive criticism. And like I say, it just totally blew my mind when you said it, because it was like so obvious, but it wasn't obvious to me, which is why I went through all of that. So yeah, no. The imposter syndrome has been around way before that. It was the first tutorial I'd done in a while, and Joe also commented it was like nice to see a sewing tutorial again, and it's like yeah it is, but oh god, it's not. I don't know. I kind of just thought, you guys, the comments about the really long step by step every single stage of sewing the skirt videos they were too long and could have been done in 10 minutes. It was like, okay, I take your point. You don't really need to see me sewing straight lines. But then I get comments on other sew alongs, and I'm saying this, I'm fully aware that I'm never going to please everybody. I know that. I do know that. I'm not trying to be perfect, because I know I'm not, and I'm never going to be, and I'm never going to please everybody. But you do take on board these things from comments that you get on things that you've worked really hard on, like the 8145, the crossover jumper that I made and did a sew along for. I didn't show very much of the sewing of that because it was basically straight lines. And I was just like, you don't need to see me sew a straight line. If you're watching this video, you're not a beginner sewist. You don't need to see how to sew a straight line. Like, you know what you say about assuming you shouldn't do it, but I'm assuming you've got like the basic knowledge of how to sew a straight line. So I didn't include a lot of the sewing in that. I included like the instruction and then how I was going to go about doing it. But I didn't, like I say, film. And then I got a comment saying, well, you didn't show any filming, reading out instructions and then like showing the finished step is not helpful. Anyone could do that. And it's like, okay. Okay, this is the other thing we were talking about last week when Buttons was here. It's like I get so many wonderful comments and lovely comments, and you guys now are saying very, very nice things, and it's just like, why can't I fixate on those? Why does the bad thing come in and be like, ooh? And it's maybe because it's criticism that I already say to myself, and it's like, well, maybe I should, like, again, I am aware that I'm not going to be perfect, but it's one of those things where it's just like, ooh, but maybe if. So, it's my brain's already saying all these things to me, so having somebody else saying them, it's just like, okay. Marie says, just listening to the thread, your tutorials are amazing. I've made some amazing clothes from them, and I always tell people where to go for it. Oh, thank you. And I love the fact that you follow along with the tutorials, because you made the 5-panel circle skirt with exactly the same fabric, and it looks absolutely gorgeous on you. And then you've made your wrap sew over it white shirt. It goes with your pleated Michael Miller sailing print dress skirt so well. It looks amazing. So yeah, I always love seeing what you've made, Marie. I love that you took on the 5 pieces from one pattern challenge as well. I thought that was amazing. So yeah, no, this is the thing. I am aware that the majority of people like these things, but when you're feeling like you're an imposter and you shouldn't really be doing the thing that you're doing, then having people comment on things that you're like already a bit worried about was just one of those things where I was just like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, or I should do this. It's like, oh yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I intellectually am very aware that I'm never going to appeal to everybody. I know this, and yet the human brain being what it is, it's one of those things. Yeah. Dashna says, committed slows as I'm working. Hate getting calls while watching. Boo. Boo indeed. Godless Sewing says, hello from Southern California. I recently retired a pattern that I've been using for 2 years, and now I'm kind of at a loss what to make. Ooh, what was the pattern and what kind of stuff do you like sewing? Sarah says, I like your style of the tutorial where you show alterations to patterns. One of the challenges when drafting is that you have to guess how low the lines should look, requires good guesstimation. Yes, definitely. And I think the more you do it, the better you'll get at that guesstimation. It's like, again, Bianca, she rarely makes toiles. She only does toiles for ones where she's not sure she's going to like the style on herself. But when she's like, I know I'm going to like this, she just goes in because she's that good at working with the block and her style and her figure. So she knows exactly what she likes and where she wants things to go. And I always find that really, really inspiring. I'm just going to get a hair tie and a tissue. Hair tie because my hair is bugging me. It's so floofy today and it's just mullet. Buttons keeps telling me that mullets are in. It's like, well, they might well be in, but I don't like them. I was saying in the waffle, the Patreon waffle, that I was thinking about going and getting it cut into a bob again so it's all one length. But if I do that, I won't be able to do this. Although my hair at the back is still not quite long enough to all get put up. I've completely forgotten Mum got me this. She won this in a raffle. I've just seen it when he's living up here with my dragon. I'm put him. There we go. He's under the wing of my dragon now. Yes. That's good. Oh. I do really like my fringe. I cut my own fringe back in because it was annoying me because it had gotten down to here. I cut a good like 1.5 inches off. I like that. Dashna says, can we talk fabric pre-washing and prepping? Usually I finish my edges and then wash, but it's been holding back my progress. Loads of people tell me that as well. I don't finish my edges first. Apparently, if you sew it into a Mobius loop, it won't tangle in your washing machine. I've never tested that theory, but apparently that's the thing. I don't finish my edges, I just shove it in. So I've got lots of fabric that have got lots of stringy ends floating off of them. I'm trying to see if I've got any that I can actually show you. I just literally, I get fabric in, I show you guys, it goes in the wash. So that's mine. Yeah. Catherine says, I'm definitely one to take copies of pattern pieces rather than move them around. I have 10-meter roll of prim square pattern paper. Yes, I am being chatty. Chatty is good. Chatty is good. Yeah. I mean, the other thing for me as well is I have a roll. It's not quite 300 meters anymore, but I had a roll of 300 meters of tracing paper from Moorplan. Because it's more economical for me to buy it that way. Mum hates it because it's too thick for her to see through. So she much prefers Swedish tracing paper. So In a Haystack very kindly sent me some Swedish tracing paper, which is amazing, and I highly, highly recommend it. And if I could afford it, because it's £1.50 a meter. If I could afford it, I would trace everything on Swedish tracing paper because it's much easier to see through, more resilient. You can iron it, and you can actually sew Swedish tracing paper as well. So you can use that through muslin if you want to. But the amount that I do, the amount of stuff that I trace and alter and make, I can't afford Swedish tracing paper for everything. So I go down the Moorplan route because, as I say, I think it works out it's 0.03 pence a meter. It's £70 for 300 meters. And this time round, I was gifted that roll. Met up with them. Oh my God, I've forgotten your name. I'm so sorry. I met up with you in the IKEA car park on the way back from the Festival of Quilts last year. So Big Bird wants to swap because you had the slightly narrower paper than I usually get, and she's got the wider one, and she wants to swap. but she's not got very much left on her roll, and I'm kind of thinking I might be selfish and keep mine that you gave me, because I'm going to go through mine way quicker than she'll go through this, and I will have to buy a new roll again soon, and I'm trying to be frugal at the moment. Oh, the 5 handmade essentials video that I managed to squeeze like 17 patterns into has made me want to make a capsule wardrobe from that. I have issues, don't I? I really do. Darshan says, recently chucked in some washer and dryer as I chuck some in the washer and dryer as I buy over 4 meters and figured losing 1 centimeter at the edge wasn't a big issue. Yeah, that's same. I either buy 3 or 5 meters of fabric. Sometimes I'll buy 20 meters of like the viscose twill from the fabric room for lining or making an outer. And I did actually stick, I think I cut that in half and stuck it into the wash. So I put 10 meters in. We have got quite large washer dryers in the house. But yeah, I don't bother finishing the edges. I just, because I'd be the same as you, Dashna. It was something that would pile up, needing to be done and not get done. Concentration face. I've gone quiet. Dashna also says sugar is evil. Yes, it is. £8 I've put on since meeting Buttons. Happy weight, but still. I've got to stop sitting with him on a Sunday afternoon watching Star Trek and eating a packet of crispy M&Ms. Crispy M&Ms are evil. Now, I have got some of this because I can't give up chocolate completely. But so keto says 70% or higher cocoa content for chocolate. So the drinking chocolate that I was just drinking is 70%. That's 70%. That does have sugar in it. So it is technically not something that I should be eating. But the only reason that keto worked for me is because I could have some kind of chocolate in it, and also the strawberries and blueberries and stuff like that, and the bacon and the cheese. That was why keto worked, because I could have a lot of my favorite things and I wasn't giving up too much, but I was giving up sugar, and sugar really is evil. And I am so annoyed with myself for going back down the sugar route, because I am going to have to kick the habit again, because it is an addiction. And I have thoroughly reignited that addiction. I found the Sour Patch Kids watermelon sweets the other day. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. But no, £8. It's not on, because I've just made a whole bunch of stuff that was fitted for, like, I can still get into it all, but it's a little tighter than I would like it to be. Yeah, not good. Catherine says to Dashna, yes, I just chuck in the fabric in the wash. Yeah. Sakayas says, I'm on a sugar ban for a month. Ooh, good. Keep up with it afterwards, because once you've kicked the cravings and the addiction side of things, it's really easy to not eat it, unless somebody comes and sits next to you and goes, oh, would you like a crispy M&M? And you go, yes, I'd like to try one of those. Thank you very much. And then you become addicted again, because sugar, evil. Yeah, if you manage it for a month, don't go back. Don't go back. Nimue says, I'm finally getting around to July for my temperature quilt. This month was too busy with other things. Mim says, hi, Sean. Hope you're well. And hi, everybody. Hi, Mim. Dashna says, is dried fruit causing the same issues? Because that could be a grab and go bags to keep in your handbag at the time. Expensive, but worth it. Dehydrated, DIY to have to stash. Yeah, no, there's a lot of fruit you can't have on keto. Berries, basically. So you can have strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries. A little bit of apple every now and again. And dehydrated fruit as well, I believe, concentrates the sugar. So it's still the same amount of sugar, but you get a higher sugar hit, I think. And again, I am no expert. But no, there is not a lot of fruit included in keto. So that's why I'm thinking the berries. Best blueberries I had was from Marks and Spencer's. Those I could quite easily just, I mean, to be fair, I don't really need to cut the strawberries up to go to the cinema. I could just take the punnet and eat them as is. Same with the raspberries. I'm just trying to think about how to sort of smuggle it into the cinema. Although you're not really, the thing you're not allowed to take in is hot food, which is understandable. Because smelly. I need to either start going to the cinema more again or stop my Cineworld pass, because it's £17 a month. And if I go 3 times a month, that's worth it. But I've been like once in the last 6 months, which is not great. So I need to kind of start going again. I just retreated into my little hole this year, and in some ways it's been really great, and in some ways I've just had such a huge crisis confidence. I don't know where it's come from. That's strange. Lollapalooza's here. Morning all. Good morning. Jojo says, I'm sorry, love. Crisis of confidence, imposter syndrome sucks, doesn't it? You might have noticed the distinct lack of content on my channel. Just can't face it because everyone is so good and I'm a potato. Yeah. And you're my potato. We are potatoes together. 3 potatoes. With our Brians. Sorry for the in-jokes. But yeah, no, it sucks. It totally sucks. And again, every now and again, you'll get people be like, but you put yourself out there, so you open yourself up for criticism. It's like, yes, maybe constructive criticism, but just plain meanness, no. And I have been getting a fair decent amount of slightly negative criticisms, not slightly, quite negative criticisms recently, and I do delete them and block them from the channel, because I'm just like, you know what, that's not helping in any way, and I'm clearly not the creator for you. Like, you don't enjoy what I'm putting out there. Why are you watching it? But I still have to read them to delete them. So yeah, they live rent-free in my brain, which is stupid. I shouldn't allow that kind of thing to have space in my brain, because there are so many nicer things to have space in my brain. Yeah, we all have issues. We all know this. So yeah. Darshna says, I have taken a pic of my stash and am adding to a flipbook. Ooh, nice. Jojo says, please like the stream, peeps. Yes, 111 of us and 38 likes. Please do like the stream. It does help, I promise. Even a thumbs down if you feel the need to thumbs down. At least it's interaction. That's what makes me giggle so much, is the thumbs down and the negative comments are still interaction. So the algorithm's like, ooh, people are engaging in this video. Okay, yay. So I have to keep reminding myself of that. Sequoia's Sewing Closet says, hey. Darshna says, do you hand hem on a mannequin or flat on your desk? I do it on my lap. I am terrible. I do it on my lap. So yeah, I iron. I don't even pin, and I mean, I've got lucky so far. I mean, I'm having issues with the hem of this stupid white dress, which is bugging the crap out of me. I think it's better than it was. I think maybe it just needs a good iron, but then, as I say, I was trying to iron it yesterday and the iron just went, I know, I'm going to split brown goop all over your bright white dress. Teach me for making a bright white dress, won't it? Bring back the patterns. Pattern fabric hides a multitude of sins. Ooh, last page. Ooh, yay. I really dislike PDFs. I like the convenience of them. And you know what? If I ever win the lottery, and have the space. I'm buying myself an A0 printer. If I ever win the lottery, I think I would actually set up a shop, a fabric shop. But it would be like I would employ somebody to run it for me, and it would be just like it wouldn't be to make profit. It would just be to break even, pay the bills, and just have a lovely space to come and like buy fabric. It'd be my taste of fabric, and sew and teach classes and have an A0 printer. And yeah, I very much doubt that. I wouldn't want it to lose money, but I wouldn't want it to run a profit. So because I would have to pay the person running it or people running it very, very high wages to keep them happy and want to stay there and do all the stuff. So yeah, I think I would, because I don't want to be a fabric shop. I don't want to run a fabric shop. I want to own a fabric shop. That would be amazing. But yeah, so many fabric shops are closing down at the moment though, and it's so sad. Like the last oh wow, I'm seriously behind with the chat, aren't I? Sorry. Yeah, the last 3 years have sucked for so many reasons for so many people. So yeah, I keep seeing lots of people having to close down their spaces, and it's just so sad. It's like, oh yeah. Darshana says, I read that one, sorry. Sequoia says, yes, 81 watching and 24 likes. So I've got 109 on mine and 56. 110. Woo! Darshana says, thanks to Catherine. Mim says, since I made my own bodice block, I don't use my hundreds of patterns anymore. So I try to sell some of them now because I don't use them anymore. That's a good plan. I think one of the other things that I would do if I did a block would be I would still reference the patterns for the style lines and the pattern size pieces and how they go together, especially for some of the more complicated ones. I've saved on my desktop 2 images from a pattern that I saw on Angela Clayton's channel when she was doing her pattern shop. The pattern was the wrong size for me, so I didn't even attempt to buy it, but it was a gorgeous style. I actually sent it to Bianca and I was just like, can you do this one, please? And then I've started doing my own blocks and I'm just like, maybe I could do this myself. So I'm going to use that pattern as a jumping off point. But yeah, that's another reason that I've slowed down massively on buying patterns, because I'm trying to be a little bit more critical about the things that I'm buying. It's like, do I actually need this? Is this adding? Is this a new revolutionary style? It's like I've kind of in talks with somebody about turning some of my designs into patterns, and I was so excited about it, and then I've massively got the fear, like serious imposter syndrome. I'm just like, oh god, nobody's going to want this, and it's just yeah, no, well, who am I kidding? There's so many other people doing so many amazing things. Why am I even trying, you know? And I just my brain is not my friend sometimes. I think we all find that, don't we? And I think it's one of those things as well. It's like if anybody talked to one of our friends like we talk to ourselves, we would have serious issues with that person and just be like, no. But we talk to ourselves like that, or at least I do, and I just need to be nicer to myself, definitely. Dasha says, but once you have the fit, French seams are so much better than others. Again, I agree with you 100%. I love a French seam, but not everybody does. Some people want to overlock, some people want to pink, some people want to do other things. Totally fine. Totally fine. Laura May from Lilacs and Lace is a huge fan of the Hug Snug, so much so that she's influenced me to buy two things of it. I tried it. I could not get on with it. That stuff was really... but she uses it on everything and it looks amazing. I love her sewing. She is amazing. Yeah. Nimue says, I like your tweaking approach. Starting from scratch is scary, but sticking exactly to the pattern isn't working either. I also prefer your focus on nice insides. Yeah, I do like a nice inside. Sequoia says, I love how you French seam on wovens. Only because I was terrified of my overlocker for 5 years and it sat in its box. And now I just use it for knits. So yeah. Although I did overlock some chenille curtain fabric that I was making a coat for a customer out of, because that thing was fraying and falling apart the minute I looked at it. And I have a tapestry fabric, which I think is still down there. Is it up there? Oh, I don't know where that's gone. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's under there. That's another one that I think when I cut the pieces out, I'm going to block fuse it with coat interfacing from the English Couture Company before I cut the pattern pieces out. Then I'll cut the pattern pieces out. Then I will overlock all the edges of that one because it will fall apart otherwise. Nimue says, it recently occurred to me that I'm accidentally doing 3 takes on one pattern with the twig and tail fable dress. Ah, nice. Darshana says, but some people do need the longer content to actually sew along with. Yes, yes, yes. I see, this is a thing. Like, I'm not going to be able to please everybody. And nobody can. So, yeah. Sokoya says, I do to Darshana. Catherine says, yeah, I have 4 different sleeve shapes that I've adapted from the tiger dress. Nice. Do we all need to give Sian a big lovely group hug? Oh, yay. Big group hug. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry I'm being so kind of like meh today. It's one of those, I'm just having one of those days. One of those days. And my painkillers are wearing off as well. So do I still have some down here? I do. Yay, drugs. Because it is, what's the time? Yes. 12:20. Definitely time. 20 minutes over when I'm allowed these. So no wonder I can feel it. Yum, 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 yum. That's well, I mean, not yum for drugs, but yum for like not feeling poopy. The Curly Sewista says, sorry, going off topic, Sian. I'm making the gable top and my toile armhole was so low and some gaping around the front armhole. Did you need to do any adjustments to yours? No. I probably went for a slightly snugger fit than they suggested. I've done that with the dandy waistcoat as well. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this because waistcoats apparently shouldn't be skin tight. This is not going to be skin tight. But I also don't want 3 inches of ease around here and 3 inches of ease around here. But yeah, no, I think I went for a snugger fit in the gable than they suggested. How is it sitting on your shoulders? Is the top of the, is the shoulder seam sitting on the top of your shoulders? Because you might want to measure that bit and do the pattern from there and then possibly do a full bust adjustment, which there are videos out there for. Cashmere has some good ones. Terry says, seconding the big group hug. Hug, thank you. Mim said, I learned so much from your channel, and I guess a lot of people as well. Thumbs up, thank you. Darshan says, so avoiding focusing on negs, watch Mo Gordat on Diary of a CEO about neuroplasticity and happiness. I shall have to check that out, thank you. Huge group hug for all, thank you. Lalapalooza says, Darshana, I prefer to run my fabric edges through a serger first, then wash, just to save my washer from getting gunked up with stray threads. Ooh, I hadn't thought about that. But no, I don't do that. I'm too lazy. Julie Elizabeth says, I like watching your videos. I learn a lot from you. Thank you for all your hard work. Oh, thank you. Darshana says, oh, I love the hedgehog. Isn't he cute? So cute. You can just see a little dragon. He's now being guarded by the dragon. Catherine says, cat tax added to the Peeps group. Where's my phone? Need to see the kitty. Kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, Bramble, you're adorable. Look at Bramble. Look at the little pads. Oh, hello. So cute. There's a fly in my room at the moment, and Shiana's having a whale of a time chasing it. She's just like, entertainment. Faye says, you only have to appeal to your ideal client. Focus on the 5% and be niche. Hustle smart, not hard. Yes, good advice. Regina says, there are times that I haven't. I've never finished the edges when pre-washing. I just put fabric in a laundry bag. Ooh, laundry bag. Yeah, not done that either. I just bunged mine in. Sarah says, I've used the Mobius strip. It's pretty great, but I've never had fabric tangle it in the wash. Darshan says, what about silk? Edges or not? Laundry bag, I have some waffle silk, scared to prep it. How are you going to treat the final garment? How are you going to wash that? Because that is the way that you prep the fabric. Personally, for silks, I have not washed one of them. They're all dry clean dresses in my head. Now they said that was silk, but I'm not sure that it is, but I have washed that and that came out fine. I did a test swatch. So I cut a 10 centimetre square and it was accurate. I was cutting 10 centimetres because I wanted to see what the shrinkage was going to be, because if there was no shrinkage, I was thinking, do I need to pre-wash this? And there was no shrinkage, there was no change in the sheen of the fabric, because that's another thing with silk. If it has a sheen, it can lose its sheen when you wash it. So Nimmerway's got some of the cotton silk that I soldered from Spoonflower. That's one thing to bear in mind, Nimmerway, if you do decide to make something with that, it's probably going to need to be something that you are either okay with the print fading a lot, or something that is dry clean only. And that's my top tips for silk. Romana says, Romana says, I never finish the edges when pre-washing. I just put the fabric in a laundry bag. I attributed that comment to somebody else, Romana. I am sorry. Gin and Pin says, hello peeps, I'm feeling amazing. I made my first shirt 2 years ago and it didn't fit, but I've lost so much weight, it now fits perfectly. Now looking at more fitted patterns instead of loose fit. That's awesome, Gin and Pins, yay. Sarah says, I also must confess I'm more often than not don't follow the pre-wash your fabric rule. Have you ever been caught out by that though? Because believe me, the first time you get caught out by it and your garment shrinks after you've washed it, you'll be like, nee. But again, whatever works for you, it's totally fine. Jojo says, Honeycomb Park is lots cheaper than Swedish tracing paper, especially if you have to buy in bulk on eBay. I don't use it for everything, but things I know I'll need to make loads of adjustments to. Interesting. Good knowledge. Thank you. Johanna says, I serge edges of my fabric and pre-wash. It helps with fraying edges and I can tell what fabric is washed and which isn't. See, I don't ever have that problem because, like I say, fabric comes in, I show you guys, and then it goes straight in the wash. So everything in there is ready to be used, which I love. I was watching a video the other day about people who were like saying that you shouldn't really have a stash. You should have a minimal stash, and you should only buy the fabric for the project that you want to make. And it's just like, it's like one of those things. It's like, if that works for you, amazing, absolutely awesome. I would hate that. I came down yesterday, like I say, and I was doing like little odd jobs here and there, trying to sort out bits and pieces on dresses so that I could get them finished. And I just sort of turned around and sat looking at my stash and just sort of playing with it. And it was just like, I love having this. And I don't think, there's maybe a couple of the quilted cottons that are maybe I'm like, are they as great as I remember? And then I get them out to do clean outs with you guys, and then they end up going back. I'm just like, oh, you know, I love this. So yeah, I again, whatever works for you, but for me, this brings me happiness to look at, to play with, and to plan with. My issue is that I am addicted to prints, and I do need to try and make some more solidy type things so that I have things to wear with all my prints. But then I do make solid type things, and they turn out to be nightmares, so it puts me off, and I'm just like, no. So yeah. Sarah says, I'm getting married in 34 days and I had my dress fitting Wednesday and it was a bit tighter than I remember, around my ribcage of all places. So the seamstress is going to move the zip 1/8 of an inch. Oh, wow. But congratulations. Ralph is here. Morning, peeps. She says, dried fruit is candy. Yeah. Yeah. Sarah says, I blame all the coffee I've been drinking. Yes. Some coffee's fault, definitely. Karen says, good evening from Brisbane. I hope you're all well. It's nice to watch you live again. What pattern are you prepping? The Lady Dandy waistcoat, but I'm doing a very poor job at it because now I've got to stick it all together. And it's not as simple as just sticking it together as it's said, because like I say, I've only printed out the pages that technically I should need. I'm doing a size 4 with an H bust. I might regret this, and it's a size 2 at the waist, because even the size 2 at the waist was bigger than I technically want it to be. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to come out, but I'm going to do it in wearable toile fodder before I do it in my red wool suiting, before anyone says anything. I will be making toiles of all of these things, so yeah. La 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 la. Where did I get to leave the chat? Darshana says, if you stop the enema pass, you probably kick the pick and mix temptation. If you stop the cinema pass, you probably kick the pick and mix to temptation. Yes. Although when I was going last year, I went loads last year, so it was definitely worth it last year. I didn't take pick and mix. I took strawberries in with me, or I had a burger beforehand, because I can have a burger without the bun. So I didn't eat pick and mix. It's all the influence of a certain Buttons. I blame him. I blame him entirely for my new sugar addiction. So yeah, I just need to man up wet pants and take responsibility for my own actions and just be like, nope, sugar is bad for me. It makes me put on weight. I don't like being this larger weight, so stop eating the sugar. Jane says, yes, best to stick to berries on keto. Dried fruit is concentrated sugars, plus fruit includes fructose, which can only be metabolized by the liver, so more likely to be stored as fat. Yes, no, berries for me, because I love them as well. That's the thing. One of my favorite desserts, because we can have it, is all the berries with a double cream over the top with flaked chocolate, 70% chocolate. So it's delicious. Darshana says, potatoes make the best chips, so potatoes rock. Exactly. Marie says, I'm going to start the 7974 soon, but the bodice is quite low for me. Can you tell me where the adjustment tutorial is, please? Yes, it's part 4 of the Sew Along series when I'm making the one with the sleeves. I also show you how I raise up the bodice in that one. In that one, I've done it by, I think, 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. I ended up doing it 3 inches. For these ones, and I much prefer the 3 inches up over the. That's how much I've raised it by, because it did come down to a point there. So yeah, but it's part 4 of the 7974 Sew Along. Rachel says good morning. Rachel Lynn says good morning. Good morning. Darshana says maybe you need mods to remove the crap fest of the dregs of humanity. Yes, but I can't afford to pay anybody, and I don't expect anyone to do that for free. So and I'd also have to give them access to the back end of my channel, which has a lot of private information in there. So yeah, if I get to the point where I can afford somebody to do that and I can afford to pay them well, then yes, I totally will. But yeah. Regina says, ladies, please feel free to create and always stop comparing yourselves. Haters will always be in the crowd, yet it serves as a motivator. Don't let it cause you to question yourselves. Yes, easier said than done sometimes, but totally agree with that. Darshana says, in fact, on Facebook, the thumbs down boosts more than positive feedback because they want to spread positivity. Rachel Lynn says, what PDF are you putting together? The Lady Dandy waistcoat. Darshana says, ooh, hubby just got me an A0 printer. Nice. Catherine said it would be a fabric fondling shop. Yeah, no, people would come in and be like, can I buy some fabric? I'd be like, no, it's mine. My hoard. It's all for me. That's my other issue that I know I would have if I had a fabric shop. It would just be like, no, you can't buy any of it. Who are you kidding? No, all mine. Christine says, oh, how brilliant, Darshana. I don't even have an A4 printer. I'm so lucky we've got an A4 printer. Mine died, so I'm very lucky mum and dad have one. Darshana says, oh my gosh, I would love a KB pattern. Oh, thank you. Jojo says, ooh, just remembered, if anyone's in the UK is interested, NetPrinter has reopened under new management. Yes, we got the emails. It's so exciting. Darshana says, they would go international, putting your creativity out there. It's so hard. Be scared and do it anyway. Yes. Mim says, I love your KB dresses and would love to have a pattern. Don't be so harsh on yourself. You're really good at the things that you are doing. Thank you. Rotten Ralph says, I wake up to take drugs. That's why I'm actually here. I hope they will start working for you as well as possible, as soon as possible. Darshana says, good point, re-stray threads in the machine to Lollapalooza, but I have boxes and boxes of fabric waiting to be washed. So much to my flatmate's horror at the time, but I hadn't pre-washed a bunch of my fabric, and I just started doing it one day and just working my way through it, load after load after load. And like we had it was a Victorian house, so we had one of those winding staircases, so I could hang it over the top of the balcony. Chiana loved it. She was just like, why is all this fabric for me to pull out with? But yeah, like, I just started going through it, and that was when I had maybe 4 cubby holes full of fabric, not this giant monstrosity that I have now. So yeah, I think it's one of those things that you just need to start doing it. Pick out some of your favorites, put them through, and you know, just like a couple every now and again. Just do it, because otherwise it's never going to get done. And like you say, it's holding up your sewing. The curly sewister says, slightly low shoulders and the bust line fits perfectly. I reckon they need to go down a size and do a full bust adjustment. Thank you. Yeah, it sounds like you do, because if the armholes are coming down that low for you and slightly over, go down a size and maybe try it without the full bust adjustment, because I didn't. I used their stretchy fabrics and it's just like, it fits. So yeah. Dasha says, brambles, so cute. Karen says, oh dear, have to go. Little man is having a night terror. Oh, bless him. I hope he's okay. Thank you for joining us. Darshan says, ooh, congrats, Gin and Pins. That's awesome news. Catherine says, have they met sewists? Regina says, I can't imagine not having a stash. When creativity sparks, I need options on hand. See, this is the same thing. But again, not everybody's brain works like that, because Mum gets really overwhelmed with her stash. And I'm so pleased that we've reorganized it for her, because it's so much neater. And now she's got things in, like, this is her to be done next. And then the next one over is her floaty fabrics. And then that's all of her suiting there. And then she's got her quilting cottons and her coat weight fabrics, and they're all, and then there's like top fabrics there, fancy fabrics there, and bag fabrics, and then cat fabrics, toy making fabrics as well, cushion fabrics. So like we've put it all into order for her. She's still working her way through her alterations. She's only got 2 left out of the 7 that she had, so she's doing well. But and she's made up the trouser muslin as well, which did not quite come out as according to plan, so she needs to redo that. But yeah, it's for her, that's a large stash. For me, that's like, oh, there's not enough fabric. I need all of this. So yeah, it's not everything works. Not one size fits all. Exactly. So yeah. Rockmouth says, no hate for the folks who buy only for the next project and they're working on, but I like the options for my creativity to change its mind. Exactly. Kathleen says, and I don't understand those that have no stash. I need inspiration from seeing my wall of fabrics. Yeah, actually talking about it, I'm going to sit down for a while because my painkillers have not kicked in yet. And I need to shit. And I'm going to sit in front of the wall of fabrics, because there was another fabric I thought about the other day that I actually got from Till the Sun Goes Down. It's a viscose crepe in a coral colour with kitties all over it, and she didn't have very much of it left, so I bought what she had left thinking I'll make a shirt, and I don't wear shirts, so I'm like, it's just been in there. So I'm going to get it out in a minute, measure it, and see if I've got enough for the 5951, and if I have, it'll go in my 5951 pile, which is right there. So yeah, because I love the lemon one. I love how it came out, although I was wearing it the other day and I looked at myself in it and I was just like, oh, do I look nice in this? I'm being mean to myself at the moment for no reason. I'm really struggling and I don't know why. Buttons is amazing. He's so lovely and constantly telling me that, you know, like I look pretty and I look nice, and yeah, I don't know what my problem is. Having a real issue. So yeah. Sarah says, well, even Bernadette Banner changed her mindset about only buying what you're going to immediately use once COVID hit, and she realized having a stash was a good idea. She has started a small stash. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that it's not one size fits all. My little dragon horde. Look at my dragon horde. But that's the thing. It's like not one size fits all, and it's not, one thing is not going to be perfect for everybody else, and you need to do what works for you. I am being a lot more selective with the fabric I buy. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been a lot less spendy this year, for various reasons. I mean, YouTube's also going through its 3rd adpocalypse, so everybody is earning a lot less money from the same amount of views. My CPM has gone down from like £12 per 1,000 to sort of 6. I've lost half of my income because of this stupid apocalypse. It will sort itself out. It will go back to normal eventually if Google pull their finger out and actually do what people are paying them for. But yeah, this last couple of months have really sucked because my income has massively gone down. So yeah, that's another reason that I am not going to the Festival of Quilts and I'm not going to the Dressmakers Ball. Although one of you lovely lot actually offered me tickets. They bought me tickets, or they bought tickets for themselves and then decided that they weren't going to go and offered me their tickets, which is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. And I know Anna's offered to drive me up there. Obviously I would have to pay half of the petrol, and I just can't afford it. Like, I just can't. It's you know, the way that things have gone with advertising on YouTube at the moment. Thank goodness for Patreon, because honestly, I would have to have gone and got a job if I didn't have Patreon. And like I say, it's not going to be like this forever. It's one of those things that's Google have fluffed up, and it's just now kind of trickled down to us, and fingers crossed they stop fluffing up and stop doing these things. And yeah, the advertising rates will go back up again. So, you know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, I'm trying to be a lot more selective about the fabrics that I buy. I mean, I already have all of this behind me, so I already have all these amazing things that I can, every time I get them out, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see myself making this with this. So I haven't fallen, there's a few that I've fallen out of love with, but not many. And the few that I've fallen out of love with are the ones that I started buying when I first got into sewing full-time, as heavy duty as I am, and I got like carried away with things. So, you know, there are some duds in there. Well, there were some duds in there. There's not anymore. But yeah, I can't imagine not having this because it brings me such joy. It really does. Yeah. Let's see. Sarah says, it hit her that Fabric District won't always be open, plus stuff comes and goes and fabrics you love may sell out. Yes, definitely. Dasha says, there's a couple of fabrics that I regret not buying. That pansy print one from Truro Fabrics, that I only bought whatever they had left because I was just like, I need that print. I wish I'd bought it when they had meterage, because I would have bought enough for an 8577 and it would have been a beautiful 8577. It would have looked very similar to my Liberty Carline lawn one, but I don't care. So I bought what they have left, and I'm hoping I can squeeze that dress out of it because it's absolutely gorgeous. You can just see the blue peeking out there, bluey purple pansies. Yeah, there are fabrics that haunt me that I didn't buy. I think that's another reason I have so much print, is because solids, I feel like I can, even if I can't buy exactly the same thing, like the red wool suiting I've got over there is now out of stock, but I can find another red wool suiting that hopefully is as nice a quality, even if it's not exactly the same. But prints, yeah, I tend to buy a lot of prints, as you know. Dasha says, ooh, I didn't know about fructose liver fat result. Interesting. Yeah, no, that was news on me as well. Carmen says, so please tell Buttons I'm so proud of him. The only weight gain that ever made me smile was the love gain. Yeah. Darshana says, oh, Christine, everyone's situation is so different. Rotten Ralph says, you would definitely need a dragon over the door of your shop. Yes, and probably a dragon door knocker on it as well. Probably won't ever let anyone in. Probably just sit in my little fabric hoard and just be like, Rain! You may come in and look at the pretties, but do not touch. I would have such issues. This is why I can't run a fabric shop. I would have to have somebody run the fabric shop and I just get to come in and yeah, no, no. Julie Elizabeth says, I'm a fabric accumulator, but I only have so much room. I had to donate a bunch of my not very favourite fabrics recently. I know the Girl Scouts will put it to good use. Nice. Carmen says, I love your vlogs. I've learned so much from you and appreciate you and your work very much. Oh, thank you so much, guys. This was not, I was not trying to do like a whole pity party kind of thing. And I know you don't think I'm doing that, but it was just one of those things where it's just like, this is how I'm feeling at the moment. And I tell you guys everything. So why not tell you this? Because, you know, this is what's going on. So yeah. Dasha says, haha, I can just imagine the fabric cascading down a flight of stairs. I'm doing like 4 to 6 fabrics a day. Hubby is helping. He truly rocks, even if his folding needs practice. Yes. Catherine says, I have 4 cubby calics for my stash. So restrained of you. Nimue says, I'm back. I'm fed. I have tea. I have to close the window because it started chucking it down with rain too loudly. Oh, boo. Jojo says, I'm in a Gertie making mood too. Presley's shirt in a cat print for our son, and Peggy Lamore full skirt in a rose print for me to wear to his birthday get together. Nice. Susan says, good morning from Georgia. Good morning. Caroline says, yes, you do look good in the lemons. Thank you. I don't know what is going on with me at the moment. I really don't. I don't know where all this like self-doubt and criticism is coming from, but it is very strong at the moment. So yes. Darshna says, Sean, you are being so hard on yourself. I wonder if it's because Buttons is awesome. You are picking on yourself, so life is less perfect. Perfect can feel uncomfy. Possibly. Hadn't thought of that. Maybe I'll have to think about that. Rachel Lynn says, I tell my daughter that if she says mean things about herself, I'll lick her. Literally. I also think buying fabric is a completely different hobby. Yes, I have merch to that. I need to sort out my merch. I need to sort out my website and my email. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, I will get there. Rock Ralph says, maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by compliments in your life. It's like it's suddenly eating a richer food after a long fast. You can't digest it. You guys all might be onto something. Dasha says, I bet you're spending similar money on better quality and selective choices. Yes. Jojo says, Shan, the dragon's little hoard. Yeah. Terry O says, I'm having some sewing sad withdrawal as canning season starts on Monday. On a happier note, it's a bad year for peaches, but in the US, but my local orchard wasn't hit too badly by the weather. Oh, good. Darshan says, my precious fabric. Yeah. Karen says, back again with a sleeping child cuddling into me. It breaks my heart when he has terrors. I literally cannot do anything to help. I have been caught out not pre-washing, so now pre-wash everything. Oh, I'm so glad he is feeling better and has mummy cuddles. This is good. Jennifer says, you with a fabric store would be that good omens angel. Can't spell his name, but Azrael, yeah. With his book store. It's like, no, it's not a bookstore. You may not buy these. This is mine. I totally would be. Yes. Jojo says, haha, so your fabric shop is basically Azrael's bookshop. Yes. Darshna says, I'd rather when you feel down, you do tell us. As a community, being there on hard days is much more important than celebrating the successes. I think that's why I love this little space on the internet that we've created together, because it is so positive and lovely. Like one of my best friends has joined the Peeps group, and she's just like, she doesn't use Facebook very often because it's generally a little bit a pace of doom scrolling, but she's like, she said to me a couple of times, she's like, your little corner is so nice. And it is, it's lovely. Christine says, hello, I'm lurking while I sew. Sean, you will have to open a fabric museum rather than a shop. We could just come and pay to see your pretties. Yeah, when I did actually have my shop, I had my fabric stash there, folded up in maybe like 4 of these, and people used to come in and rifle through it, and it would just be like, that's not to be touched. That's not for you. No. Michelle says, morning, lovely peeps. Morning. Natalie says, well, but just pinned together pants the wrong way twice, so I think I'll just put those aside for now instead of setting them on fire. How's everyone else's projects going today? Yeah, put them in the naughty corner so they can think about what they've done. Darshna says, Karin, I'm sure Mummy Cuddles will fix it all. Yes. Nimue says, sometimes our mental health is just mean to us. Deep breaths and one foot in front of the other, and remind yourself that you can't always trust the voices in your head, especially in the mean things. Yes, no, the Donald Trump voices, as my therapist, she said to give the negative comments that you say to yourself a funny voice or a voice of someone that you don't respect. So Donald Trump, because it's hilarious. So yeah. Eliza says, not a fabric shop, rather a fabric storage area. Yes, that I occasionally let people in to come and ooh and ah over the things, and then just like, no, you can't have it. Now go away. Mine. And do you want to see the kitty fabric that I'm talking about that I got from Andre until the sun goes down? It is, of course, at the bottom of one of these piles. We need to measure it and see if I've got enough for the dress. I'm going to take both of these out because this will be its lining. because I do think it will need to be fully lined. I think this is a good colour for me. Let's get me thingy out. That's another thing I have to do. Natalie from All About the Outfit. Jojo's coming down in October to stay for a week, and she's booked a colour consultation. And we've been talking about doing another kind of like styling video for ages, and I've just not wanted to do it because I'm just like, yeah, I've just massively been like, I don't like anything. I'm just no, yeah. So I need to pull my finger out and sort that out because I am being a nightmare. Yes, this is one of my colours. Yes. Definitely one of my colours. And the blue as well, I think, is a good colour. You're that kind of a blue. Oh, maybe a little bit more greeny blue. It's not quite perfect blue, but this one, yeah. But yeah, I'd seen this on her website and absolutely fell in love with it and bought it from the show and bought whatever she had left. It's got little Siamese kitties on it. And it's not directional, I don't think. Yeah, look, see that cat and that cat are that way up, but then they're upside down. So I think I want to make the lemon dress out of this. And then I've got this, which I got from the fabric room, which is a coral color, and I've made a shirt out of it, and it is one of my colors as well. And I'm going to use that to line the 5951 with this, because this is a little bit brighter, but I think that will be nice as a lining rather than white. But now we need to see if I have enough of the kitties for the dress. I can't remember off the top of my head how much I bought, but I know it's not over 2 meters. But I think it was quite a wide fabric. How wide are you? Oh, you're not the widest. Oh, you're 140 wide. Okay. Wider than the lemons. Oh, I think I've got 2 meters. I think I can do it. 1, 2 and a bit. 2 and a decent bit. 2 and maybe 45 centimeters, and it's wider. I think I can get my dress out of this one. Yay! Because I've literally been thinking, oh no, this is going to have to be like a shirt. Ooh, got tape on it. Yeah, I've literally been thinking this is going to have to be a shirt because I haven't got very much of it. But that dress, the one that I just said that I had a crisis of confidence wearing because I was like, oh, do I actually look good in this? I have enough fabric for that. Yay! And I think this will go really, really well with the shrimp coloured cardigan that Mum's knitting for me at the moment. This is what I was thinking. I was like, ooh, I could use this as a basis for a capsule collection because I've got some turquoise like denim over there that I could make a skirt from. And if I made the skirt long enough to go over the skirt of this dress, then I could wear it as this as a top. And then Mum's knitting me the cardigan, but I think the cardigan's actually a very much pinker one than this. This is very kind of much more red than I remember. But you're in the wrong place. But you can go in here. Well, that's good. So that's going to be another dress. I'm definitely going to do a video on that pattern. I've done a sew along for it already. Yes, I have done a sew along for that pattern already, but I think what I'll do is maybe skirt variations and sleeve variations on it. So yeah. Dasha says, "Ooh, I love that fabric." Yes. Karen says, "I have unintentional fabric stash. I inherited boxes of extremely good quality fabric during COVID. There is a way I will use it. There's a little heart that's turned up. There's no way I will use it, which kind of just covers that part of the chat. Right. I don't think that needs to be stuck to anything. This one does need to be stuck to each other. I've got the tape out. Oh, I need to order more Scotch tape because I've nearly run out of that. Oh, come on. Dasha says, "Ooh, idea for you, Sian. Rather than getting rid of old makes you aren't wearing, why not set up a dressmaking inspiration studio as a tourist attraction?" Yeah. Come and have a look at all of my stuff. I mean, to be fair, at the moment, if you go down to one of the local charity shops, it is that. They've got a bunch of my stuff on display, which is very nice. Hopefully people buy it. And it makes them some money. So I've also decided for the Lady Dandy that I am not going to do the welt pockets on my muslin because they're very fiddly and it's a muslin to test the fit. And second thing is, I like welt pockets. I like the faux welt pockets, so I might do a little faux one because honestly, I'm never going to put anything in the pocket bag of the pockets on a waistcoat. I know this was done as like a twist on the male one, and guys have like put watches, and I know Bernadette Banner puts a pocket watch in her pocket as well, but I'm never going to do that. So I'm kind of like, do I want to put myself through a welt pocket insertion for something that I'm never going to use? And I don't want the bulk and the thing there as well, because again, I'm going for a closer fit than the pattern recommends. So yeah, again, people are probably going to get angry at me for that, but right. How do these go together? Oh, that goes there. Okay. Oh, have I got two pattern pieces there? I don't. Yeah, this is why I'm struggling. Here we go. Right, so this one goes to this one. But yeah, for testing the fit with the wearable muslin, I don't think that it's necessary to put the welt pocket in. Tasha says, "You can rotate the make seasonally, so it's always interesting to visit." You laugh. I'm serious. So serious. Demos of techniques and fabrics and patterns. Oh, if I could have the space, that would be fun. Maybe I should add that to the shop that I'm planning. My dragon hoard. Like, look at the things I've made. I used to put like display pieces up, like Nia's wedding dress went up for a while. So yeah. Catherine says, "Your choice. I've enlarged the pocket bags on my Barbary jacket, so they are in the skirt of the jacket, so less of a fit sleekness issue. They are now Kindle size." Nice. See, if it was a jacket, I would totally put the pockets in, but for a waistcoat, and again, a waistcoat to be as fitted as I want it to be, because the amount of ease that they say I should put in this, I don't like. So I've gone for a much smaller size than they suggest. There is absolutely no way I'm size 2. But yeah, oh god, this does not make sense to me at all. This is really weird. I've cut the same pieces off. Ah, that's why. That's why some of these are upside down, because they're nested, because of course they are. Natalie says, "Not everything needs pockets." I know, I'm one of those people. See, this is the thing. Like, we all sew to make our dream garments, don't we? I am one of those people that does not overly enjoy pockets and things. I like very big patch pockets or detail pockets like the 8577 and the 1743 pockets. They're amazing. Love those. But inseam pockets, I don't include those in everything, especially if I'm making something from viscose. It will not get inseam pockets. That was one thing I did miss out on the tutorial for the double circle skirt. I meant to say you could put pockets between panels 3 and 4, 5, 4 and 5. And I did say it in the original drafting one, but then when I went back to refilm, I started saying it at the wrong point. I thought, oh, I'll say that later, and then I completely forgot. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of pockets. It's like the Lucan jacket. I did the welt pockets in the first one, and they were just so awkward, and I didn't like them, so I've omitted them from every other Lucan that I've ever made. Okay, we're getting there. Which one do you go to? Oh, are you? Oh, you going this way? Oh, okay, okay. That's where you fit in. Let's put you in here. Okay. This is starting to make a little bit more sense. See, this is the trouble when you only print out the bits that you need. Like, the pages aren't all in order, and it's just like, oh, what's going on? We will get there. We will get there. I'm going to be interested to see how this one comes out lengthwise in the torso as well. I remember from my night and day dress that I've made it once before. I made it with a double circle skirt on it for the dressmaker's ball. That ended up having to take that extra length that I added in. I ended up having to take it out because I didn't need it. So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Oh, I don't like PDFs. Rah. I find you very annoying. Oh, Mum's back from church. She's got a giant plant with her. Why you got the big plant? There we go. This is not my favorite. Apparently Buttons X used to get him to do this. Hello.
Have you got all your peeps?
I have 118 peeps.
Oh, I say, that's good.
Why you come in here and cough at me? I don't want your germs.
Sorry.
Try my dress. They're pretty. I hate doing this.
Can I ask you a question?
You can.
I'm doing a stole for a lady for her ordination, and she wants sheep. I'm going to embroider sheep.
Good luck with that.
You said your computer, you have a computer that under there.
Yeah. I've no idea where the plug for it is, and I've no idea if it works, because it was an old computer from somebody that had it for a work computer, so you needed a license for the operating system on it, which is expired, so it might not even turn on. I haven't turned it on for 4 years.
Okay. But it hasn't got a plug.
I don't know where the plug is. It's probably somewhere sensible.
Can we find a plug? Okay, not now. No. She's coming at 2, but that's okay. I was wondering how I could look at them.
Just on the internet, Mum.
On the internet?
Yeah, Urban
Just
Threads.
Urban Threads.
Yeah, an embroidery library.
Okay, thanks. Urban Threads embroidery library.
Yeah. Ah, that way. I hate these things. Why am I doing this to myself? I really should have just sent it out to be printed, shouldn't I? Idiot child. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Let's see. Catherine says to Darshna, the jacket means I don't need to take my handbag to church. Can take my phone, my Kindle, and my keys. Kindle needed for sermons. I'm in the choir. Karen says, I'm useless with the numbers. Which is the 5951 for the cat fabric, please? It's the one that I made out of the lemons recently. This one. Done a sew along for it. I've made another one out of 2.5 meters of fabric, and I made the lemon one out of just under 2 meters, just over 2 meters of very narrow fabric. Yeah, lemons was the most recent one. Nimue says, I love pockets and need them for work, but need to be practical. Tiny or badly accessible pockets are just as annoying on handmade garments as on ready to wear. Yes. Rotten Ralph says, I was reading my dash on Tumblr yesterday, and there was a post about 2 years old girl realizing her jean pockets were faux, and she took them off and refused to wear them again. Nice. Rotten Ralph and Nimue say, morning to Mum. Johanna says, I enjoy putting PDFs together. It's like a puzzle. I like seeing the pieces come together. Do you want to come do mine for me? Dasha says, I think sticking together A4 sheets is why hubby hunted down an A0 printer. He only had to help stick one pattern together and was like, how much have you spent on printing patterns? Yeah. Catherine says to Nimue, remember the full Prosecco bottle size pocket on the bum Abby Cox made in a skirt a while ago. Joe says, morning Shannon Peeps, just popping in to say hi while sat outside Robert Burns Museum having a cup of tea and some shortbread. Don't forget to like the stream. Hello, Joe. Natalie says, since I'm going to have a cutting table soon, I was wondering if anyone had any advice on what surface they recommend. I use both rotary cutter and scissors. I would say you need to have mats for your rotary cutters and a separate, like I've got lino on mine, so floor covering. I went into the shop and I bought the smoothest one I could find. I really like it. It's not as smooth as I would like it to be, but it's the smoothest one that they had, and I do very much love my cutting table. I did, up until a year ago though, have just paper on top of MDF, which worked fine. I just had to replace the paper every now and again. But with your rotary cutter, you will need to have a mat for that because you won't be able to use both. At least that would be my recommendation. We've got like A0 mats under here for when Mum gets the rotary cutter out for her doing her things. Okay. Oh, this is driving me nuts. might go to the cinema this afternoon, you know. Might do that. That would be nice. Where are you going? You're going in there. Right, I'm going to get my scissors out and cut this apart a little bit because it's getting large. And it does have a cut line on it. So it's... I don't think I need that piece because I think that's a different sized piece. This one's not completely finished. It still needs a little bit of its side seam putting on. But we're getting there. I don't think I'm going to have to add any length to this, you know. It's going to be interesting to see. Put that over there for now. Okay, so you are going to go in here. Where did I get to with the chart? Tasha says, price of printer equaled 2 months printing. Ooh. Ooh. I wish I had room for it. Nimue says to Catherine, yes, who needs to sit down? Dasha says, how fab, Catherine. I always take bags and I get so fed up and leave it laying about. Yeah, that's why I wear my 8577s to travel in. Loads of people think that's mad with all that big skirt, but it's got the giant pockets in it, so I don't need a handbag. I can have my NCW on a crossbody strap if I have to have my purse. But that's generally how I travel. Susan says, I hate putting together PDF files more than anything. Yeah, no, that's not my favourite. I'm not enjoying this. Ralph says, my walking skirt pocket is like Abby's wine pocket. Nice. Sequoia says, yes, me too, Susan. Always cut them wrong and have to fix them. I'm going to trace this once I've put this together. I've spent all this time sticking this together. I'm not cutting this out because I'm not, like I say, I'm testing this pattern, so we'll see how it all works out. Nimue says, I hate sticking A4 PDFs together as well. Much happier to send A0 off to the printer, off to be printed, and need to try out that PDF stitcher software for the few patterns I only have in A4. Yeah, that's my Boundless Style Victory Patterns book. Only prints out in A4 from a CD. I'm not looking forward to that. Nuri says, ooh, I forgot to ask about the giant plotter we were supposedly getting at the Hackspace. Might be able to do my own A0 printing locally. Oh, nice. Georgia says, I have a sneaking suspicion that cutting and sticking A4 PDF patterns is going to be my Lucifer style hell loop. Screams. Yeah. Dasha says, ooh, you have hacked space too. Awesome. We love our Hackspace locally. Okay, right. See, this is the bit that bugs me. It fits perfectly one side and then the other one's slightly off. Actually, this one wasn't too bad. Having said that, this one's not done that thing. Oh, those drags are not working. That's annoying. Okay, what have we got next? I think you go there. Yes, you do. Are you lined up? There you go, that's better. Oops. Got me tape, Squiffy. It's not good. Can't have squiffy tape. Okay. Where are you going? I think you're going like that. Oh, are you going over there? Okay. I'm so glad you guys are keeping me company while I do this, because I can imagine that I probably would have given up, turned this into scrap paper for Dad, and then sent out to have it printed by net printers probably. Are you? No, you're not. Oh, where do you go then? Okay. Okay. Not at all sure which this bit's going to get added to, but I'm sure we'll find out. There is a map for what this should look like, but it's on the computer where you guys are at the moment, so I can't look. But I would rather have your guys' company. So this thing is very long. B2. Oh, you go there. Okay. And oh, you go over here. Ah, okay. You go over here. You go there. Yes, you go there. We're getting there. We are getting there. Okay. Yep. Yes. This is making my head hurt. B2. B2, you go there. Yes. Yes. You go there. Can you see the smoke coming out of my ears yet? Oh, I didn't get to read the chat. Oh, where did I get to read the chat? Natalie says, I don't love putting together PDFs, but my small sewing budget makes it the only option. Yes, I'm very lucky that Mum and Dad let me use their printer. And I was very specific with the pages for this one, so I didn't, like I say, I didn't print out all 75 pages. Nimue says, if we do have a working plotter and a stitching software works, I'd be happy to print the stuff for that CD for you, Shan. I even bought external drive for CDs. Oh, that would be the best birthday Christmas present forever ever. That would be ever awesome. But it's a whole book, Nimue, so that's a lot of work. But thank you. Obviously, I would pay for it, sorry, as well. I meant the work that you'd have to do to stitch it all together and get it printed, but I will pay for it, obviously, sorry. Assuming, yeah, no, I wasn't assuming that you were doing it all for free. Darshan says, are you hydrated? Maybe the pain is body needing to flush toxins. Oh, possibly. Sequoia says, same here, Natalie, same here. Johanna says, I tape together the pattern by pattern piece, then cut out much less drift of the printing as I piece together. Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing too. So we've got a piece there and then a piece that I cut out over there. And then I've got my back piece that I'm cutting out here. So yes. Nimue says, we're very lucky to have a giant hack space with many bells and whistles at a very central position. It's an amazing resource, but not many people know about it, sadly. Oh. Dasha says, where are you based, Nimue? I'm in Essex, near Southend. Rotten Ralph says, I live in the middle of nowhere, Central Florida. Nothing resembling a hack space or a build space. I have to order everything online. Oh. Charlotte says, oof, I just cut the lining piece of the dress. Really underestimated how long this would take. You can do it. You can do it. Nimue says, I'm in Oldenburg, Northwest Germany. Darshan says, everyone should grind their local hack space. Ours has woodworking, metalworking, laser cutter, 3D printer space, and a computer lab. Sewing and overlocking machines. And then she says, nice, very nice. Karen says, good morning, or good morning. Dasha says, right, they seem to be new phenomenon, maybe worth Facebook search or local internet search for what for maker spaces or tool library, what's on the CD, and morning to Karen. Kathy says, hello everyone, so happy I can sew today. I can join today. Sorry, there's a little heart that's blocking that. It's the Boundless Style sewing book from Victory Patterns. So it's this one, and there's the CD. But it's kind of like one of those like mix and match ones. So the book comes with 5 bodices, five skirts, and 5 different sets of sleeves. Five different types of sleeves, and they all interchange and go together. So I love the idea of that, and bought the book. But unfortunately, you have to print the patterns off, and they are on a CD. And my external CD drive broke ages ago, and they are only A4. There's not an A0 option. So I just never gotten around to trying anything from it. But I do really like Victory Patterns drafts. Their Jackie dress is one of my favourites. I was thinking about the 5 handmade essentials. Like I mentioned, like other patterns that like needed honourable mention in there. I totally should have gone through and done the knit version of all of my patterns as well. Like I should have gone through and done a knit and a woven version. I am thinking about doing a capsule collection from that selection of patterns. Because I think that could be quite fun if I pick some fabrics out that all work together, and then add in the knit and the woven. I think that could be quite an interesting video. Right, actually I have, no, that's still got bits missing off the side. Maybe this printing just those bits was not the best of ideas. I think I am missing a few pages, which is a bit annoying, but never mind. I was pretty sure. Like I even wrote them down and then crossed them off as I printed them out so that I wouldn't miss anything out, but maybe I have. but maybe that bit goes over somewhere else. Trust the process. These are the pieces that she said I needed, so did that go over there? B1H. Yeah, that bit goes over there. That's cool. Right, so let's cut this bit off because we've now got a whole pattern piece here. And okay, so that's a whole pattern piece. Yay! So then this bit gets attached over here. This is organized chaos. Organized chaos. Oh. Natalie says, I've never heard of Hackspace before. Not sure it's something we'd have in Toronto. I've been using my partner's printer, but we won't be living together anymore after moving house at the end of August. Oh no. So yeah, you need some kind of printing solution. Yeah, maybe have a Google and see if there is something near you, because I would have thought Toronto might have something like that. It's one of the, obviously it's a large city, so yeah. Nemo says to Darshana, we have all that plus textile workshop, bike repair shop, electronics, and for the guys found an ancient electron raster microscope for very tiny electronics work. Oh, cool. Noelia says, hi everyone, just wanted to mention that I use Plan Print 24. They're the cheapest by far, and they've printed ebooks for not a lot. You just spend a minimum of £5 though, or you get charged extra. Ah, cool. Noelia says, sorry, it's Plan Printing 24. Darshana says, oh wow, that sounds awesome. I've used them too. Noelia says, I find that printers are cheaper, but cartridges are expensive. I prefer to buy A0 and pay. Yes, same. Dasha says, have you looked at the website for the book or the author? Maybe they have downloads for A0 PDFs now. Just looked, they have downloads for link for the book patterns. I hadn't even, oh gosh, my brain. Thank you, Darshana. Jojo says, what's a Hackspace, please, folks? Never heard of it before. All of the above, like, has all that stuff in it, so you can go and rent I think you go and rent the space, Jojo, if you want to use tools or stuff for woodworking and things like that. They sound very cool. I highly doubt we have anything like that on the island, but then I could be wrong. Okay. We have a back bodice piece, a front bodice piece. What's the other thing here? Is that the lining? Yeah, front lining. I'm going to need some facings as well. Where are they? Do we need facings? Front facing. Page cup. Yes. So, are you going to go in here? Where do you go? Where do you go? feel like I'm missing some pieces. Oh no, that bit goes in there. It's like they know what they're doing or something. That bit goes in there. Trying to decide what fabric I'm going to use for the lining of these waistcoats, because I'm going to do the thing that again will probably annoy people, but I'm going to do the thing where I use my outer fabric for the back because of the type of way that I want to wear this. I don't want to wear it under a suit jacket probably, so I don't need it to be slippery at the back, and I'd prefer it to be the same as my trousers. Just for me, that makes it feel like it's more intentional that I'm wearing a waistcoat and a pair of trousers together. Whereas if this is only how it works in my head, but if I was wearing a waistcoat with the silk back on it, which the silk back is again so it doesn't rub against the jacket that you wear over it. So in my head, that's not that one. Wearing it like that would just look more intentional. I feel like I'm missing a piece. I missed a pattern piece off. Yeah, that's done. That does not match up with those. I feel like I'm missing a pattern piece. Belt pocket. That is just its own pattern piece. That is its own pattern piece. Why did I have to print this one out? Because that is that, but for a different size for the FG. I think I'm missing a pattern piece. Yeah, those two go together, but that's for the FG cup and I'm doing the H cup. So that's, I don't need that. Do I need that for C4H? Aha, that's why I need this one, because it's just over here, the edge of my dart. Yes, there we go. That's why I needed this one. But I'm still missing that piece, which is annoying. Okay, so I'm going to cut you off. Because I don't need you, but I'm missing. Oh no, I'm just missing the bottom of my facing. That's a complete piece. So I've got my front lining sorted. Okay, so you are done. You are done. Just double checking these pieces that I've got over here that they haven't got like a stray bit hanging off of them, and they haven't. And that's done, that's done, that's done. So you I don't need, and you I don't need. I just need the bottom for you. And that's the back waist tab. So you can go over there. So I'm only missing one piece. That's not too bad. 3H. And I don't have a C3H anywhere. No. Okay. One piece out of all that. That's not too bad. Where did that come from? Oh, Mum. Yes, I'm just missing the bottom of my facing piece. This bit here. That's it. That's all I'm missing. That's not too bad. I'm going to sit down again because my little brain has left the building. Oh. Nimue says Hackspace is like a public workshop with experts, not necessarily professionals, in charge of each section to help you out with a project or skill. We don't normally rent our tools out because it's a lot. Because a lot is on permanent loan from some members, so used under supervision is preferred. And if the chat stopped accepting messages from others as well, try refreshing the page, sorted it out for me. Oh, did it die for a while? Because I was concentrating on something else. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm annoyed that there's one piece missing, but never mind. Other than that, it's all done. So then I can trace that out because there is absolutely no way I'm going through that again if I fluff it up and have to redo the pattern from scratch. So I'm going to trace it out and then make a muslin out of this. Really ought to get that out, oughtn't I? Yes. It's a bluey purple triple crepe. I think it might be a good colour for me. Yeah. It's maybe not quite perfect, but it's pretty good to that last one. So I'm going to make the trousers and the waistcoat out of that to test the fit, see if I like it, and if I do, then I'll make it up in my red wool suiting, which I'm excited about. Rotten Ralph says, "Ha! I did lose the order chats. Going to refresh again. Oh, is it misbehaving? That's no good. That's no good. Don't like that." Yeah, I think that's going to look really pretty. I don't know if I've got a top that's going to go with it though. Well, I've got my white shirt that will work with this. So, what shoes have I got that will go with this? Do I need new shoes? I do not need new shoes. I know I don't need new shoes. Don't worry. I'm joking. I am joking. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I think I'm going to call it a day because my painkillers have not kicked in, and this is being ridiculous at the moment. I haven't had an acupuncture appointment for 2 weeks now. I went last week and he said because of all the dental work that I'd had done, or not, the stress of the dentist and the broken tooth and stuff that I'd had on the weekend, he was like, it's probably not a great idea to start exacerbating that area with acupuncture. Let's give it. So he cancelled that appointment and added another one on at the end of August. And then on Wednesday this week, he wasn't feeling very well himself, so he didn't come into work. So I got a phone call at 8 in the morning saying, we're really sorry, but no appointment today. So yeah, I haven't had an acupuncture appointment for 2.5 weeks now. I was thinking that was the acupuncture was the reason I was having a flare up, but I don't think it is, because 2.5 weeks and this is still misbehaving more than it usually does. So I don't know what that is, but never mind. So Darshana says we have people about who are subject matter experts, and they can help on request, but we have 24-hour access and don't have to be supervised. Ooh, don't think you should allow me in somewhere like that unsupervised. Rotmrow says, go get some rest. And Darshana says, haha, bet you do not need new shoes, but want, well, new styles are something. Yeah, I always want new shoes. I should really stop looking at a regular choice. Ooh, they've got some of their meow boots in a purple that would look amazing with those. Need to not look at irregular choice. Darshana says, hope you feel better, hugs, and don't forget Mo Gaudet, Diary of a CEO happiness interview. Thank you. Yes, I will have a look at that. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today while I had to do something that I really dislike, interspersed with the chat about my crisis of confidence and my dream fabric shop and fabric fondling. There had to be some fabric fondling, didn't there? So yes, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you all next Sunday for a hangout. So there's going to be my jacket and waistcoat pattern collection video on Tuesday. I have filmed that. I'm hoping to film my coat collection wardrobe clear out possibly on Tuesday, because Mum is leaving for the Festival of Quilts on Thursday, I think, and I need to send a couple of those coats up with her so that Jojo, just seen Jojo's name, so Nia can have them. So I want to film that video before those ones go, because whilst I have 12s in them, I would like to do 12s in them now to show why I'm passing them on. And I've also filmed my coat pattern collection video as well. I filmed that on Tuesday as well, so I don't want to put too many of those out in a row, so I'm going to try and think of something to do in between. I would like to do the 8177 sew along, because I think that's quite an easy pattern to do, but I'm out of interfacing, and the very lovely Susan has sent me more interfacing as my Christmas birthday present, but Parcel Force are holding it hostage. She's messaged them and said please release it to her, and I've messaged and rung them, and they've said, yeah, we can only give it to you if you give us the right address. And it's like, it is the right address. Look, here's stuff that's been delivered to that address. But for some reason, Parcel Force they're holding my interfacing hostage. And I need that interfacing to be able to do that dress, because I don't have any interfacing light enough to work with that fabric. So I might try that other dress that I wanted to do a sew along for, because I have some heavier weight interfacing that would work better with that fabric, although I still would like the lighter weight interfacing. And that one needs a lining, I think, as well. And I don't have any of that in stock either. So I also need to do this as well, but I do have couture weights tailoring interfacing, so for this and the trousers. So maybe I'll just work on those and try and do a video for those in the interim. Oh, I don't know what's video. I don't know what video is going to be out on Friday. Tuesday's video is going to be the pattern haul. There's also going to be a Patreon $10 and $15 Zoom call. I'm going to do it on Wednesday again, if that's okay, and I'm going to do an evening one. So yeah, that's the plan for the week. Whether any of that actually happens or not, I don't know. Maybe I should stop trying to make plans. Maybe that's my issue. But yeah, anyway, Jojo says, bye all, love you too. Natalie says, hope everyone has a great week. Yes, you too. Dasha says, take care all, have a fab week, everyone. Thank you. Nimue says, always lovely to spend some time on a Sunday amongst peeps. Get some rest and distraction. Hugs, have a lovely week, have a lovely week, everyone. Thank you. Caroline says, feel better, lovely. Cutie faces. Rachel Lynn says, I love doing a lace back with my waistcoats. By the way, I like wearing them tight too. Oh, glad it's not just me. Charlie says thumbs up. Caroline says hopefully see you Wednesday then. Yay! And Rotten Ralph says love for you all. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, peeps. I'm sorry I've not been in the cheerfulest of moods, but it's very much cheered me up doing that job that I hate with you guys. So thank you for that. And I will see you all live next weekend. Bye.